Could Mercedes abandon the W15 and focus on 2026? Andretti gets another chance to try enter F1, and Alpine and Williams steal Mercedes' front-wing concept. In Formula One, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has recently stated that his team would never consider abandoning the current generation of cars to gain an advantage in the sport's upcoming 2026 regulations. As the team continues to struggle with understanding the latest ground effect regulations, it has become apparent that its W15 vehicle is not producing the desired results and is falling behind Red Bull's performance. Despite increased levels of downforce, the 2024 Challenger's characteristics are not translating into better performance on the track, leading Mercedes to suspect that its issues may be more mechanical-related than aerodynamic-related. Wolff has conceded that Red Bull driver Max Verstappen and his team are currently in pole position to claim the World Championship, leaving Mercedes to focus on finishing as the best of the rest. This could be a wise decision as it would allow the team to commit early to its 2026 Challenger, ensuring that it is quick off the blocks when the new rules come into force. Despite the potential benefits of such a move, the FIA has not yet allowed teams to begin working on the aerodynamics of the new cars until 2025. As such, Mercedes will need to consider carefully whether it is worth continuing to improve the W15 or diverting its attention to the future regulations. In a recent interview with Motorsport.com, Toto Wolff, Mercedes' team principal, was asked about the possibility of abandoning the current rules cycle later this year. In response, Wolff made it clear that Mercedes could not entirely abandon the current regulations and continue to perform at their current level. According to him, it is not the ambition of the brand, their partners, or their own. He emphasized that they would continue to push and improve their understanding of the regulations, but eventually, like all the other teams, they would start looking at the new regulations that the FIA comes up with, probably more on the earlier side. Wolff believes that Mercedes is currently in the chasing pack behind Red Bull, with Ferrari and McLaren, which is not what their F1 ambition was. He explained that if their expectation was to race for wins and championships, then they were in a bit of a no-man's land because Max and Red Bull were far ahead. While the team is in this bunch, it is not satisfying for either team that is fighting for P2, P3, or P4. Wolff has always said that from a pure sporting point of view, P1 is what matters, not P2, P3, P4. However, he acknowledged that the current reality is that they are facing a challenge and they are trying to do the best out of it. Their aim is to beat their direct competitors, while accepting that somebody is just doing a better job and setting a benchmark that they eventually need to set themselves again. Wolff stated that their ambition was to win races this year, and they would not let that go, certainly not next year. Although there is a big reset coming in 2026, which provides the most realistic opportunity for any other team to beat Red Bull, there is still 1 3/4 seasons before that, and Wolff does not want to go through much more suffering in the next 18 months. He hopes for highlights and a trajectory that is going upwards. Alpine and Williams, two of the Formula One teams, made a recent switch to a new semi-detached front-wing flap and end plate solution, which was first introduced by Mercedes. The design of this solution is based on how the flaps are connected to the end plate and how this connection can be used to enhance the outwash effect that is being generated. It's important to note that this outwash effect was something that the regulations for the newer generation of cars were supposed to limit in order to improve wheel-to-wheel racing. The idea was to reduce the overall wake output of the cars. However, teams have realized the value of generating outwash from the front wing and the impact it can have on downstream performance. As a result, they have been looking for ways to recover any losses, which led to the exploration of this new solution. In 2022, Mercedes introduced a new design solution aimed at generating outwash by opening the lowermost rear corner of the end plate. Although other teams took notice of this design, regulatory changes prevented them from implementing it in the following year. Instead, Mercedes decided to use a semi-detached design solution that has since been adopted by many teams across the grid. The new design solution involves cutting away the lowermost rear portion of the end plate completely and displacing the flaps tips from the end plate's y-axis. This creates an aerodynamic confluence that is further enhanced by the twist on the vertical portion of the flap. Each tip of the flap creates its own vortex structure that influences the larger aerodynamic structure being generated. Rival teams recognized the potential of this design and worked on optimizing it. They either adapted their current layout or made further alterations to the wing's overall design to reap the rewards on offer, not only at the source, but also downstream. As a result, the semi-detached design solution has become a popular choice among many Formula One teams. Aerodynamics is an essential aspect of Formula One racing, and front wings play a crucial role in a car's overall performance. Front wings generate downforce, which is essential for maintaining grip and stability during high-speed turns. To optimize the performance of the front wing, Formula One teams employ various design strategies, including the use of horizontal winglets, end plate shape, type and position of dive plane, shape and position of the spars, and flap transition. In some cases, horizontal winglets are mounted on the interface of the end plate, above the flaps, to further optimize flow structures. Williams, for instance, has added winglets above the final element on its front wing. The shape of the end plate, the position and type of dive plane, and the shape and position of the spars that connect the flaps and end plate, along with the shape of the flap transition, also play an important role in improving the flow structures emanating from this region. Teams often adjust these parameters in concert with a change to semi-detached flaps. In the case of Williams, the team has changed the design of its dive plane, with the novel wedge-shaped solution making way for a more conventional S-shaped variant. For Alpine, on the other hand, no winglets have been added above the flaps, but the upper three elements have been semi-detached. The overall architecture of the front wing has been modified in accordance with the introduction of the semi-detached flap solution, with the shape and function of the flaps being altered significantly, as can be seen with the dotted line on the trailing edge of the upper flaps. Furthermore, the load structure of the elements has also been changed. This can be seen by how the slot gap separator brackets have been repositioned around the assembly. The 4 brackets connecting the main plane and secondary element have been reduced from 4 to 2, while an extra bracket has now been added between elements 2 and 3. These design changes are aimed at enhancing the performance of the front wings, which is crucial for achieving better lap times and winning races. The Aston Martin team has been working diligently to optimize the performance of their AMR24 car. In their efforts to achieve this, they made some significant changes to the car's front wing during the Australian Grand Prix, and they continued with further adjustments in Japan. The team's focus was on refining the car's performance window, which ultimately led to changes in the floor, edge wing, and diffuser. These components all work together to improve the flow field beneath the car. Specifically, the team made alterations to the leading edge of the floor and the floor fences attached to it, while also adjusting the contours of the floor's edge. In conjunction with these changes, they also made adjustments to the edge wing, adding a twist aft of the scrolled and straked section. Additionally, they eliminated the cutout that previously allowed the tapering tail to work its way under the floor. As a result of these modifications, the diffuser's shape was also amended to take advantage of the new flow conditions. Furthermore, the team made changes to the AMR24's side pod bodywork. They reintroduced a swage line that traverses the front upper corner and works along the bodywork's flank. This design concept was initially adopted in 2022 when the team moved to a downwash ramp-style solution. However, they abandoned it to focus on their deep gully arrangement. The team also made some adjustments to the side pod's midline cut, raising the belly slightly compared to the previous specification. All of these changes work in unison to enhance the car's performance window and make it more competitive on the track. The Aston Martin team's dedication to optimizing their car's design is a testament to their commitment to excellence in Formula One racing. According to Red Bull senior advisor Helmut Marko, there has been a lot of interest from potential buyers in their second Team RB, leading to a possibility of a sale. This news has rekindled the hope of Andretti joining the Formula One grid, which had put in a bid to enter the competition as a new 11th team. The bid was supported by the FIA and General Motors, who had pledged to become an F1 power unit manufacturer. However, despite having a plan in place to debut as soon as 2025, Andretti's bid was ultimately rejected by Formula One. Formula One had suggested that the series would provide more value to Andretti than the other way around. Meanwhile, existing teams had expressed concerns about the financial implications of another team getting in on revenue distribution. Consequently, buying an existing team seems to be the only viable option for Andretti. Last year, Red Bull had dismissed rumors about a possible sale of their second team and instead rebranded it from AlphaTauri to Visa Cash App RB for F1 2024. However, Marko has now hinted at the possibility of a sale, with many interested parties in the fray. It is speculated that Andretti may be one of them. When asked by OE24 about rumors of a potential sale, Marko confirmed that there has been a lot of interest from various parties. However, the final decision rests with the shareholders, and while the price is high for a team, no decision has been made yet. Formula One has recently faced strong criticism for its decision to reject Andretti's application to join the sport. However, the president of F1, Stefano Domenicali, has defended the decision and claimed that the correct process was followed. There are now rumors that the next Concord Agreement, which all F1 teams must sign, may include an increase in the anti-dilution fee. This fee is paid by new teams and is split among existing teams. The current fee is $200 million, but it is speculated that this could be raised to $600 million. Domenicali has stated that the possibility of an 11th team joining F1 is related to the Concord Agreement. He has emphasized the need for joint work between the FIA and FOM to evaluate the different aspects involved. He also believes that the process for evaluating Andretti's application was followed correctly, and the outcome was presented in the right way. However, Domenicali has also acknowledged that the topic of an 11th team will be discussed with the teams and with the right commercial and technical proposition. This will take place within this year, and the matter will be open for discussion. It is worth noting that the Formula One grid has not featured 11 teams since 2016.